All right, everybody. It is a WrestleMania week show here on No Dirt, Just Dialogue. I hope everybody is well, who's taking in the Vegas sightlines, the travel and tourism. WWE's been paid well, so I hope you guys are doing everything you can to, boost that economy. We've had a lot transpire here in the past couple of days, which has been the theme for the past 3 or 4 weeks, truthfully. But last night was something that the wrestling world is talking about, whether good or bad or indifferent. We're going to get all to it. We're going to preview and predict WrestleMania. It is this Saturday and Sunday. There's a lot of hype, even around my house with my kids, for WrestleMania. So with that being said, there's a lot of hype all over mass media. So WWE is obviously doing their job. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what was reported in the Hollywood Reporter. We're going to talk about what is all over the internet right now in terms of WWE and their ticket sales. We're going to talk about it all because that's what we do here. Number one wrestling podcast. I appreciate that. All right, let's kick off real quick because I think it's something we should talk about. And that is the WWE and where it stands with WrestleMania and how a lot of the fans are viewing WrestleMania as something that they no longer feel as if they could afford, right? A lot of fans have made this something where they've let their voices be heard all over the internet and everything else. And we're going to bring in our two partners to this show. That would be Jordan Carter and Juice here to discuss this as well. Jordan, what's going on, man? How are you?
Man, gearing up for what's going to be an eventful weekend. I'm ready. A lot to talk about, lot to review, lot to predict. I'm ready. It's going to be a good show.
I agree. I kicked off the show kind of talking about WrestleMania and the ticket prices and how a lot of fans feel like they have kind of been priced out. WWE is obviously going to have a record gate. They're going to have a multi-million-dollar gate. They're probably going to shatter last year's record, and that could be because of the cost, because of a lot of different things of tickets. But do you feel like the common fan, the fans who really live and die by this product, do you feel like they're being priced out?
100%. I will say 100%. So a couple of weeks ago, now granted, I understand prices change, but I was just, I was like, hey, let me see what the highest ticket in the building was still available. $26,000. I saw some VIP tickets going for it. Now I understand it's VIP. You get, your extra pizzazz, you're this, you're that. But when that's your high, oh God, I wonder what your low is. And come to find out.
In terms of what?
Like if that's the highest ticket out, and this was a week, 2 weeks ago. So if that's still the highest ticket out, then I wonder what's the lowest ticket in. So, and I looked and I'm still seeing $200 to walk in the door. And personally, I don't want to, if I go to a sports game and I'm spending $200, I don't want to sit in the nosebleeds. So I damn sure don't want to sit in the nosebleeds for a wrestling show.
Sure. I believe, I've been screaming this since I attended WrestleMania 38. And I said, when I saw the prices for 39, I saw the prices for 40, but I started to see the trend. And I said to a lot of people, if you could afford to go to WrestleMania, go now. And that was for WrestleMania 39, because I truly believe that and 40 were the last two affordable WrestleManias, because I see the shift. I see what they're trying to do. I understand the demographic and the market they're trying to appeal to. And they are getting those fans to spend the money. But at some point in time, this is a very niche product, in my opinion. You could try and change it. You could try and make it as mainstream as you want, which WWE has and TKO has. But at the end of the day, the core audience and the core fan base is not going to be able to afford to go to all these events or WrestleMania, which used to be a destination for a lot of people. It was a week-long vacation for them. A lot of people can't afford to do that anymore. Now, people can blame the economy and everything else like that. But I understand the strategy here. We can make as much money as we want. Or more money, because we don't have to cheapen lessen our product, and the people are going to pay for it. And WrestleMania is like our Super Bowl. I get it. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, I think where Vince McMahon and the previous regime did a very good job is there was always a ticket that was affordable to every sort of class in terms of lower, middle, upper. There was always a ticket available I believe for, I think maybe it was like $40 or $50 in the upper deck or something that a family could go to. Maybe it was 30. I know for WrestleMania 10, it was like or 9, it was like a $10 ticket or something like that. But, I just think that was always a focal point, and I think it's gone by the wayside because the mentality now is let them attend a Raw or a SmackDown. If they can't, WrestleMania is our Super Bowl, and we don't want to dampen or diminish our product by lowering ticket prices or making these.
Are you aware of what happened recently with Lay's? Not Lay's, the Doritos and whatnot, how they recently lost money. And I'll explain how this correlates. So this happened during COVID. They kept raising and raising their prices, right? To where a bag of chips would be $7. Finally, because people would buy it, right? Like it's Doritos. I love Doritos, right? But you get to a point, even if it's something that you love, like Doritos, because if you go to any store, you look at how much shelf space, how many different varieties. That's how you can tell they're doing well. But at a certain point, people are like, hey, look, I'm not spending $10 on a bag of chips. I'm not spending $7 on a bag of chips. Eventually, with him saying recently, he's Nick Khan, Nick Khan recently said, oh, they'll I don't care if WrestleMania is across the world, they'll watch, they'll buy anyways. And so eventually, at some point, fans are going to be like, nah, I can't do it. Nah, I can't do it. It doesn't matter. Nah, I can't do it.
I hear you. Let's bring in Juice. Juice, welcome. WrestleMania ticket prices was the focal point here of the past. It's been for months, but it really ramped up this week. And a lot of people are talking about how WrestleMania, they're going to do record profits. And, I've had discussions with people, and it's always interesting to see some of the people online say, yeah, record profits, dude, the business is booming, yet they can't afford to go, which is something that's always strange to me. I've been fortunate enough to do 15 of these. A lot of them I didn't have to pay for. But now it's a different animal, so you have to pay, but maybe I get them at face value, or I don't have to pay the exorbitant fees or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think, and I said this in the Hollywood Reporter, and I've said it all over, I don't believe that WWE and TKO has a price point for their core diehard fan base audience members. And it seems to me like a lot of the audience is okay with that, or the ones that are the most vocal here on the vocal minority, which is social media X, because they're going to turn record profits. To me, I don't understand why people are so happy about that when they can't afford to go to events because of being priced out. What are your thoughts on this?
First of all, FOMO is already setting in because I'm not going to be at WrestleMania this year, unfortunately, but I'm looking forward to SummerSlam. I've been to 5 WrestleManias, so I'm like good on these last 2 is like fine. Like it was Vegas again, fine. I don't have to go. And then, next year won't be anywhere near where I'm going. So, maybe in 44, whenever it goes, maybe Indianapolis or Nashville, something like that, I'll get back to it. But just in regards to pricing folks out, I mean, you said it with like WrestleMania 40 was pretty affordable, all things considered. Yet I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head with, calling it out at 38 before 39. Just the fact, the last WrestleMania before COVID, I think, the fact that we've got 2-night WrestleManias now, all these factors kind of put in, and it's kind of frustrating knowing that, and I know they'll still do it this year and every year concurrently, but they used to just tout how many people were in the building. And they do that now, but they do it over the 2 nights. But they also are talking about how big the gate was. And it seems that that's their main focus. And to your point that you were quoted in the Hollywood Reporter, it is pricing those folks out. There's a lot of normal wrestling fans that save up to go to WrestleMania every year. And now that's just not possible.
Well, and the biggest thing for me, Juice, is like with talking with regular people, the consumers, I asked somebody, I said, would you be able to go to WrestleMania at this price point? And they said, yeah, but I wouldn't spend that. Like, could I? Sure. Would I? No. And I think that's the issue. I think
it used to be, sorry, but fans used to lean to, well, I might not get to go. So I'll make that concession for prices to make sure I get there. And now it's like, well, it might be too much that I can't justify a once in a lifetime opportunity, which is kind of unfortunate. It's
yeah, like I said,
item for
last
people.
year I went to WrestleMania and I was afforded, comp tickets, which was great. But I'm looking things and reading things and I'm seeing different things, including hotels. Hotels are up across the board in Vegas. They're up everywhere. Airfare up everywhere. So you have to factor all this into the equation. And it's smart by WWE and Vegas to bring this event back to Vegas. I know why they did it. The Travel and Tourism Board in Vegas wanted this event because they need it desperately. But again, like I said, two things can be true. The prices are too high for the actual wrestling fan. So if Nick Khan, TKO, and Endeavor want to create this bubble of certain fans who could afford it, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you, and listen, these guys are in and women are in positions of power and they're in these roles because they know what they're doing. But this is a very niche product, in my opinion. So I'm not going to discount what they've done because it's record-breaking profits. They're a money-making machine. But when these people who can afford to go don't find this product cool anymore, then you'll lower your ticket prices. And I don't know if those fans are still going to want to come back. That is where I believe they are missing the mark. You can keep this cool crowd that wants to spend the money because it's Mania and this is a who's who and it's I gotta be there. It's that vibe crowd or whatever. But you also want to make sure that you keep your loyal audience, your hardcore demographic that will spend $150 on a 2-night ticket because they value that being okay. Yeah, this is something that I can justify spending the money on. Jordan, you had something to say? Go ahead.
I was just going to point out, and you eloquently said it, value. Fans are at some point, the value of what I'm getting out of the show, as far as like at the end of the day, I'm paying to see wrestling. I want to see a good wrestling product. You have to give them value. And I think but it's hard because at the same time, this company's telling you that they're not a wrestling company, that they're an entertainment company. I expect this out of an entertainment company. So as a consumer, as a fan, there's a number where there's a Venn diagram where that crosses over of people who can afford it and then people who really enjoy wrestling. Sooner, with this direction in which they're going, they're pushing out that other circle of people who like wrestling.
And one of the feuds is burying the product, saying, well, why are tickets not selling? I can't believe this.
UFC did this too. And you went to the show in Miami. If you did or attended or watched, the place was not good. It wasn't full. It was not a great house. And they've tried this model with UFC. It's worked for the most part. But again, I think the goal, you could still have these record-breaking profits. Like you have all of these people right now. We see it. And you have all of this, the generating income and everything from these people, the 38, 45,000, whatever it's going to be. Why not put the tickets in the upper bowl at $35 to $50 and sell out the upper bowl? Because at the end of the day, it's going to look great on television no matter what, because WWE's production is immaculate. It's pristine. But I don't believe this is the way to go. I understand the dynamic pricing, and a lot of people don't. They see the prices for WrestleMania now, and they're like, see, they're cutting prices. No, they're going with the market. It's called dynamic pricing. Events are like milk. They have an expiration date. If you don't consume milk by a certain date, it goes bad. If this event doesn't sell tickets by a certain date, it's not a sellout. So they're a money-making machine, no doubt about it. But I watched a lot of wrestling when I was a kid, and I watched a lot of men and women describe the business to me as an adult. And a couple lessons I took from them were close your eyes. And if you can hear and feel and see the crowd, you'll know where to go and what to do in terms of like what a wrestler would do, right? How are the fans? Because they're not, truthfully, the fans that are going to be here at WrestleMania, I'm sure there's some diehards, but if you start to get to a point where those fans are not coming unglued because the diehard demographic can't afford to go, how are these wrestlers supposed to feel that crowd? Don't you want a loud atmosphere? Last year was loud at WrestleMania. Credit where credit's due. It was a loud building. But I don't know what it's going to be on Saturday and Sunday. I'll be there. I'll let you guys know. But I mean, besides Darby winning the championship last night, that crowd was dead. And it's an example of, I just don't know what type of WrestleMania crowds we're going to get going forward, because this has become something where it's the Super Bowl of professional wrestling price wise. It's always been that, but now it's the price wise.
You
And
know,
the common Eagle fan and the common Patriots fan don't go to Super Bowls.
this sounds like, you know how during NBA playoff time, you know, they give out playoff shirts. You guys remember the story maybe from a year or so ago where those first few rows, you know, of the courtside seats of fans aren't wearing the shirts because they're corporate. They're in suits and ties. So why am I going to wear this playoff shirt? It feels something akin to that, to where who are you actually trying to as a company, who do you want to be the loudest? Who do you want to be seen? Is it the people who really want to be there, or is it the people who can just simply buy their way in to be there? You know, it's
Hannibal says cheering for WWE record profits is like cheering for Bezos or Zuckerberg position on the rich list. Very odd. It is. I mean,
it's almost like the elites of the elite get to go, no pun intended, get to go to these shows, and they're in the front rows. And now with all the celebrity involvement, you can conceivably see like it's going to be, normally it would be your Lil Yachty's and what have you. Those guys are on the show now, but it's like all these guys that maybe are into WWE are a little bit like, oh, they can afford WrestleMania now. So like they will be in these front spots, but it's not going to be your outside of your green shirt guy. It's not going to be your classic fans.
And even those went up. I mean, you went from 50,000 last year to 70,000 this year. 70,000 to sit for 2 nights in the front row of WrestleMania with a bunch of perks. But think about that. That is 2 people. Let's just say 1 person went, okay? Both years. I know a couple who have done the past 3 years, 4 years. You're looking at a Ferrari in your driveway instead. So WWE knows they have these people, and it's almost like an addiction, the front row people. I get it. They need to be there. It's a status symbol. They want to be there, and FOMO and everything else like that. But at some point, these people are going to tap out. And I'm not talking about the front row people now. I'm talking about the regular people. I am not going to spend $2,000 to sit per night to sit in a great seat when I could go to Circa, or I could go somewhere else and watch it on a television screen, or stay home. If you want the atmosphere and if you want the vibes, okay, which a lot of people do, and you have a budget, I think TKO and Endeavor, which I'm sure they'll probably implement soon, should do a very affordable ticket package. I've said this before.
Club WWE.
That's not going to be that. I would doubt it, but it's, that's another thing. I don't think that's an issue. WWE starting this club, all teams, sporting teams, soccer clubs, they all have them. So it doesn't bother me that they're doing that. Do I see the value? I don't know what it costs. I don't know what pre-sale code you're going to get. I don't know what access you're going to get to tickets, because at the end of the day, when WWE is dynamically pricing their tickets, I don't think a club WWE access is going to help you out in terms of saving money, time, or anything else like that. Now, I don't know what it costs, so I can't fully stamp that I don't think it's worth it.
You think they're going to announce more details this weekend of all weekends?
Yes, they're launching it this weekend for sure. Again, WWE is a money-making machine. TKO is a money-making machine. But I just think that things change. You could either change with them or you're going to die, truthfully, in terms of any industry, in terms of anything like that. But I think at the end of the day, I want the most loudest, rambunctious, passionate fans at my WrestleManias, at my SummerSlams. And if I can't have that, then I really don't have a stranglehold on my fan base, because that's what I want. That's what I want. I want the loudest, the most passionate.
Isn't that funny? I mean, it speaks to the greed of it all, but like, if you are a Nick Khan, a Triple A, any of these guys, isn't that what you really want? Is just like, sure, you want the packed building, but don't you want the packed building with like the maniac people that love and die for this stuff?
To be the that guy, unfortunately, it all looks the same, but only one brings me bigger return on investment.
Right, but at some point, like we've been saying, that bubble might burst of, what is it going to take for them to go, maybe we should just scale it back a little bit. It's almost as if they're so short-sighted they don't realize that if they had it even remotely affordable,
You
They
know,
would still sell out the damn place.
you know, this is crazy, and not to be that guy, but I'm gonna show off my little econ skills here a little bit. But this feels a bit like the 2008 housing bubble crisis, in the sense of like you have this pricing that you could take advantage of, but there is a bubble. There is 100% a bubble, and it will burst. And
Well, Jordan, you know, maybe not. But here's the other thing too. I'm very well aware, and I just want to maybe give some education to some who don't understand. WWE has gone to Vegas 2 years in a row, okay, since the Endeavor TKO purchase, because they had Philly locked up. They could not get out of that. Now, and I know that they sold right after WrestleMania 39, but WrestleMania 40 was announced, locked, sealed, and delivered. That was it. They couldn't get out of it. So they go to Vegas back to back. They're getting an enormous tax credit both times, and they're getting an insane deal to go back to Vegas, okay? First time was insane. Second time is even more insaner, all right? Then they're going to Saudi. It's not a word, but we're going to use it. Then we're going to Saudi Arabia, okay? 3 WrestleManias in a row. We made a huge investment. I'm pretending I'm on TKO's board here. We made a huge investment. We got to recoup this. And they're doing everything they possibly can to recoup this investment. I'm not knocking the business. It's smart. What I am knocking is where the business will be for WWE and TKO at WrestleMania 44. And if TKO and Endeavor is even a part of this anymore. That's something I think we should be on the lookout for. Because as soon as they become maybe in the black, which means they're even, or a little bit in the green from their initial purchase and investment into WWE, I think all bets are off, especially if Saudi Arabia wants them. I'm not saying that's going to happen right now.
That's a very interesting take. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a very interesting
I mean,
take.
listen, AEW, if they're going to stay with Paramount, Warner Brothers Discovery, there's Saudi Arabia investors in that as well.
And that too, yeah.
I mean, we got to be aware of this.
Drew. They normally will announce the next WrestleMania location. What, a month after Mania normally?
This year was. I want to say New Orleans was announced. Let's look it up.
So Saudi was announced last September. That's when everything changed because I was in Texas.
Did The Rock come out and announce?
He was the one who came out and
he announced it in February of 2025
for
New Orleans.
Right. And then what I'm saying, and then 43 was announced in September of last year.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just curious because what we've been talking about this, throughout this discussion, throughout these weeks leading up to this WrestleMania in particular, is the overarching, like the cloud that's above this whole thing this is like the last one for like 2 years. And when you think that they want to try to make sure everybody knows at a certain point sooner than later of don't worry, even though they're very high on, people will tune into the 43. We got to know, the fans are going to want to know where they might get a shot to go to Mania next. And I'm wondering when that'll be. And where do you think that even is going to be, Drew? Even just early? Do you think it's going to be one of the places we always talk about? Or
I think it's very smart that WWE held off SummerSlam ticket prices and announcements and when they're going to go on sale till after Mania. I don't think WWE is going to announce WrestleMania 44's location for at least another 6 to 8 months, truthfully.
Well, probably, September. It could be in the fall. I can see that.
Maybe. I think they'll wait until September, October-ish to see if we're still lock, stock, and barrel and what's going on in the world right now. And then if things haven't changed, then maybe they announce a move. But I wouldn't expect anything because they're going to wait till after SummerSlam for sure, because they want people to panic spend because this is the last event I'm going to be able to go to, big one, and for the next at least 12 months. So
I know it's so early, but where would you think is maybe the leader in the clubhouse for 44?
Dallas.
I was just about to say Texas.
Or I could see Dallas or I could see Los Angeles. I think
so LA, 2 of the places they've gone since COVID.
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans would be the best and most feel good moment and story.
They could announce that at Money in the Bank, which is in September.
Right. It's all going to depend on what
That would be
happens.
interesting. I think, and Indianapolis is owed one as well.
They paid for it. They paid
so
for
they're
it.
gonna get. They got Rumble already, and they're gonna get a SummerSlam. Then they'll get that.
Another smart location to look out for, but I think it'll depend on if Dallas comes in or Los Angeles comes in and says, here's an enormous site fee bid. They're gonna say, okay, we're going there. But that's what it comes down to.
Can I ask you a random question then?
Sure.
Just because I am a local here, if they do Dallas, what are the chances they would do Cowboy Stadium?
They do it all the time.
They've done it twice already.
Yeah, okay. That's what they would run. That
was my first. My first WrestleMania.
I don't know. You say Dallas, but some people may think Houston or
it's gonna be. It's gonna be Jerry World for the third time in 11 or 12 years by then, because they did it at 32 and they did it at 38.
It would be 12.
Crazy enough, I didn't go to either.
Yeah,
because you know why? I was priced out.
Well, those were affordable.
2016 was very affordable. That was my first one because it was a bucket list item, and I'm like, I gotta make it to one. That so happened to be the first one.
Tell you.
I know. So the reason
of a weekend
I joke and kid, but I didn't go to 2016 because I was not I didn't want to see that Roman. What was that, Roman Brock?
No, it was Roman and Triple H. And Brock versus Ambrose, which was amazingly hyped, and then it fell flat.
Yeah, because then that was the stomping ground right before. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
No, stomping grounds was in 2019.
That was 2019.
Yeah.
All
right, you guys ready? Let's see. WrestleMania MetLife Stadium. This is a floor seat. Okay, this is 10 rows from ringside. Price $407. That's on the floor.
You might want to take that money and get a better internet connection so we could see the ticket clearer.
It's a camera.
Let's see here. This is a floor seat for WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. 8 rows from the ring. $472.
I did not sit in the floor, but yet I still got a chair.
Floor risers for the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, dead center. Row A. $456.
Is that 34?
Yeah.
That was great.
Here, you ready for this? This is a 200 level at WrestleMania 12 in 1996. Yeah, that's signed by Bret Hart.
I was about to say, what's the oldest?
Is that slabbed?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
$100. $100 for the 200 level.
Hey, just
did
random.
Did you get that slabbed?
Yeah, if you were to let that go, how much would you let it go for?
He'll never let it go.
That was the first. That was the first pay-per-view that WrestleMania was that I watched from start to finish at my house with my buddies. So that's just something. I mean, I have the program from there. I didn't go.
Okay. I was about to say, because if you went and then you got signed or whatnot,
let's get but there's an example of and listen, everything changes. Milk costs more than it does in 2019. But again, niche product. It's entertainment. It's not something that's a necessity. This question has been asked a bunch, and we got to get into our AEW stuff. We got to get into our predictions. Why was Mania moved from New Orleans? Because WWE and TKO is given a lot of money to rip it from New Orleans and bring it to Vegas because Vegas needed the travel and tourism badly. It was down across the board. So hope that helps.
Money. That's why.
But hey, they get money in the bank on Labor Day weekend, so I'm sure they'll be fine.
We can get into some AEW then, because
also
I didn't think anything
has
happened.
the WrestleMania 12 ticket like this.
Here we go.
That's at whole like that. I know the barcode or whatever it is can be ripped. This one isn't. If you have a whole one that's unsigned, let me know. All right.
Hey, you may get something. Hey, legitimately try why not? Why not for wrestling memorabilia is actually what
I'm not much of a guy like that. There are certain things that I will grab and then
Drew talks to me if he's got any sort of he asked me about a WrestleMania 10 shirt the other day. He's into the merch, but he needs to talk to the experts behind the counter.
Somebody had offered me online a WrestleMania 10 shirt. And I was like, it's pretty cool. That was my first WrestleMania watching it. But I was like, man, this shirt looks like it's like messed up.
I would love that shirt. That's my favorite WrestleMania ever, brother.
There's a lot of it's got the gold foil. There's some people that have it for sure. You have to really be careful, though. I told you.
Speaking of gold, though, last night, guys, we have AEW has crowned a new world champion in Mr. Darby Allin. And what some people call a squash, I think it's the beginning of a new story. I do want to point out really quickly, I love how AEW and Adult Swim had this animation thing, and Darby Allin's episode debuts as he becomes champion. I think that's a really cool thing of corporate synergy. Kudos to them.
Maybe it was a work.
Maybe. Well, they don't get a lot of credit for like their corporate prowess. AEW.
Well, not yet. They're still only what 6-7 years old. They're getting there.
And I think something like this, like you have, obviously they went into the animation space. So this is just a quick little bit on it. They went into the animation space with Adult Swim. And Darby's is the first episode out. He's your new champion too. You're just bringing eyes to your product. But AEW's got a new champion, Darby Allin. Juice, Drew, what do you think?
I want to clarify some things before we get into this whole debate, or we're going to have a discussion, rant, whatever it is. MJF is not scheduled to miss Double or Nothing in Queens. Okay, that's not happening. So I don't know who reported that. I don't know who decided that was the factor that MJF dropped this championship. It is not. Max is going to be a part of Double or Nothing. He's all over the promotional videos and everything else like that. And it was confirmed today by me, by numerous different people, that Max is going to be at Double or Nothing. Now, I can't tell you if Max is going to get something happens between now and then that maybe he's not, but I'm telling you all signs point to him being at Double or Nothing and wrestling. So this was not the reason why Max dropped the AEW World Heavyweight Championship last night on Dynamite. Juice, I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
Look, I love it. I was very positive about this last night. I was positive going into it, thinking that it could happen. And I thought it was unpredictable, even though I love that fans are just like, well, because everybody talks about it, therefore it's predictable, even though nothing was given away. Like, and as if predictable was bad. And the way the match went was not predictable. So to me, it's it's entertaining. It was a fun moment. It was a great moment for Dynamite. I felt that now you can have another stake in the, you don't know what you might see on Dynamite. You might get a world title change, and that unpredictability helps sell TV going forward. This is a moment you can always play. It's what happened on Nitro every now and again. You want to hook the viewer, or on Raw too. You want to hook the viewer for next time, even if they just flip to see this guy with half his body painted just won the world title in a very interesting way. I think there's a lot of people that didn't like that Max dropped the title. And even though he might get it back at Double or Nothing, they hate that is now predictable. Okay, if you're so top on it, then you should be booking these shows. Sorry.
Well, a lot of them would have to make millions upon millions of dollars or inherit it, and they cannot. So we'll stop there.
But the numbers are so big, Drew. Come on.
Listen, here's the deal. I would assume, and I could pretty much guarantee it, that this was probably Max's idea. Okay, so for all the people hating on it, I'm pretty sure this was something that Max probably either pushed for or came up with himself.
Well, either way, he signed off on it.
Sure. The other thing here is that a lot of people are complaining about it, and for me, the only gripe that I had was it felt like they tried to fit 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. It was a lot in one night, and I didn't hate it in terms of I didn't hate the fact they gave us a video package of talking about how Darby, this is all he's ever wanted, and he climbed Everest. And he struck out the first 3 times, and this was the 4th. And then Sting. I didn't hate it. I felt like this could have been built up a little bit more for me. And that's just me. That's my small critique on that. Did I hate the title change? No. Here's why. Darby is a homegrown guy. So for all the people complaining about it, it's not like Max dropped the title to Tommaso Ciampa or like Copeland or Jericho or whatever. I do think that there are some people who are correct in saying that this was probably done for buzz. It probably was. That's fine. I don't hate.
Why not capitalize on that? That's a smart move to do that.
It works for 48 hours, Juice, because at the end of the day, the competition is throwing Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, CM Punk.
But let me ask you this though: is 48 hours worth it? It's better than nothing.
And they got. Listen, I don't. It's a smart play. It's a smart play.
And I'm not critiquing you. I'm just saying the argument of that it's such a short thing.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see what it does business-wise. I think Darby's gonna hold the championship till at least Double or Nothing. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But again, he is a homegrown guy. He's a day one AEW guy. So I don't have a problem with Max doing that. And I think Max, I think Tony, let's just say this is how the conversation went. Hey, I need Buzz. I want Buzz. We're going to have you drop the championship on Dynamite the week of WrestleMania. Who do we have you drop it to? And Max probably said Darby. So, I mean, and I'm going to tell you that I believe, and it's been reported, I think, that Darby was supposed to win the championship at All In Texas, but decided to climb Mount Everest. And I had that up over a year ago, that I believe that Darby was going to be crowned AEW World Champion at All In Texas. And
that turned out for everybody well anyway, with the Cowboy winning it in Texas. Like, plans change, they pivot, and now you had that, now you get this.
You all rush for a hot take instead of letting things develop, and you're entitled to your opinions. But these same people scream about they're not making stars. They just did. Whether you like Darby or not, whether he's undersized, whether he's just right, whatever. They made Darby a legitimate superstar for AEW. Is he a attraction in the wrestling business? I'm not quite sure on that one. But I think this does a lot for Darby. There's a huge difference between a star and an attraction. Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, attractions. I'm not putting Darby in there. That's not a knock on Darby. I don't think Darby would either. So I don't hate it, because I think this was something that if he is going to drop the title, he being Max, dropping it to a homegrown guy is perfect. And I don't think there's anybody on the roster currently right now that you could have Max drop the title to that would make sense homegrown wise. Now go look at their champions, truthfully. And I'm having a long segment here because if you are going to do this and you're going to be different, then you need to have homegrown. And I would say 75% of their champions are all homegrown. Maybe 60 if we're going to, I don't know. I'll go Darby's your world champion. Tekla, who's she's as homegrown gets in terms of she's AEW, right?
She's killing it, by the way.
Willow Nightingale, there's 3 out of 3. Jack Perry, 4. Okada's not homegrown. Kevin Knight, that's 5. No. John Moxley, no. The Conglomeration, no. FTR, no. So, we're looking at more than half of their champions are homegrown talent. So, if they're going to be that type of company, then so be it. I don't hate it. We're going to see what the ratings did.
As sort of my role here, speaking for the in between the ropes fan, that the really, I'm the Graps guy. And for those who are like, man, this was a stinker. This was a 6-minute stinker. Why did they do this? They want more of a competitive match. This is one of those things where, like, AEW really told a story and had a story thread throughout the entire show, right? Max didn't want this match, wasn't prepared for this match, bragged and said he was going to beat him once again with the headlock takeover, which he beat him with before, by the way.
Storytelling.
So they had a storytelling. Therefore, when I like I said, I'm not upset that this was a 5-minute match, my 5-minute championship match. Let me be clear, because this was the beginning of a story and not the end of one. If Darby's story is from now until Double or Nothing, cool. We have another homegrown talent who is champion. We just raised the stock of Darby Allin. And we pay off a lot of things, because there was remember around All In when he went and climbed the mountain. Oh, but what about Darby? What about Darby? What about Darby? The Darby effect has been lingering around the world title scene for the greater half of a year and a half. Now it's finally quelled. He's the champion. So this opens up a lot more for AEW, because now
by Monday, people are not going to care about this build. They're not going to give a shit. Truthfully, they'll find something else to complain about, because everyone's going to be talking about WrestleMania after Sunday. So I think people.
And if it's all negative, though, you have something positive to fall back on with what AEW did.
If WrestleMania turns out to be an absolute dud, at least AEW crown Darby. I'm going to get into this later, but I don't think that's going to be the case. But go ahead, Jordan.
To that note, that's the point of an alternative. right? That's what we as fans have been begging for. That, hey, if this isn't good, I've got this, and if this isn't good, cool, I can go back to this, right? Like, I'm sure Mania will kill it. They'll have, I don't think it'll be a dud in any sense of the word. But no, you're right. Nobody will be talking, but for 48 hours, hell, for 24. I won't even say 48. For 24 hours, AEW is in the thoughts and minds of everybody in Vegas right now, where they're not. And if I'm Tony Khan, if I'm AEW, hey, that's all I can ask for. I just hit 3 birds with 1 stone. I crowned Darby. I'm in the minds of people of my competition, and hopefully I pop a rating. You know, it's this decision to me was just an all-around win. It's a net positive for AEW. And it again, it serves all masters, you know, because the rumor is MJF's going away to shoot a movie. I don't know how true or what true that isn't. I don't know if it's in Silent Night 3, Waterboy 3, who knows? But yeah.
He's not missing the pay-per-view. He's not missing the pay-per-view.
No, he's not missing the pay-per-view. But that's what's been reported, alleged. You know, this is no dirt, just dialogue. We don't deal in that. So I don't. But regardless as to reason as to why he dropped it, again, this to me, storyline wise for AEW, this sets them up for a new chapter.
All right, we'll have to wait and see what Darby does with the AEW Championship, where it goes, how it's going to play out, what type of revenue it draws, what type of ratings it brings in, all that stuff. So, you know what? Do I think Darby Allin's going to be champion for a while? No, I don't. I don't think it's a mistake either. Would I have liked to have seen more build? Sure. Could I have got into a year-long build where I could sink my teeth into it? Sure. But the same people that complain about this type of stuff don't want stories. They don't. I don't want stories. I'm not watching this for stories. And then they give you an insane result, unpredictability, and they're complaining about that too. I just think people are so quick to have a hot take. Let's figure this out. All right. Like,
yeah. Well, in those hot takes, though, there seems to be a deeply rooted dislike for the company before the match even happens. So that seems to be where people lie.
The fan base was divided last night, though. It was. I think a lot of people are upset that Max lost because they like to.
It's more of a reaction than the crowd in Everett.
I mean, yeah. So sometimes if I have to split my, you know, I've been looking up gambling stuff, you know. So if I have to split my crowd, you know, to double my winnings later on, you know, that's what I got to do.
It's interesting to see, like, the Young Bucks. They came out like they were the only, like, besides Sting, it felt like they were the only, like, major talent that was out there.
Now that I will say, well, because a lot of the other major talent, you know, why Kenny wasn't there,
and you can't have Kenny because Kenny wasn't on the show, all that other stuff. So,
you know, and then Swerve, which I think Swerve will be his first actual defense if he doesn't defend it weekly. Because I could see a situation, shout out to my man Carlos who thought this, I could see where he defends it weekly, like, you know, he becomes like this wild fighting champion. But I think Swerve should and will be his first opponent because 1, Swerve's a heel now. 2, I don't think Darby's got a proper win over Swerve in their battles. So this would be nice that, like, hey, I can beat you now and it's for the title. Like, I can beat you when it really, really matters. And I think that's just another cool story to tell.
Go. All right. What else you guys want to talk about before we get into our WrestleMania predictions?
I don't know how much else there's going to be. I mean, what headlines are there? This is the biggest week of the year. That's why I felt it was a nice time to capitalize. The eyes of the wrestling world, wherever their bodies may be, in Vegas or somewhere else, their eyes are locked into all wrestling this week, which is why I thought it was important for them to crown Darby, which is why I'm very much looking forward to Joey Janela's spring break tomorrow night to see Sandman's final match, to see Joey Janela versus Brody Lee Jr. There's a lot of good stuff going on in the world of wrestling.
Who's Sandman taking on?
Oh, you're going to love this.
You ready for this? The Invisible Man.
Oh.
Is it?
Who's that going to be?
It's not.
No,
Drew. It's Jordan. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, Jordan. He doesn't. This is not this. the match is not for Drew, but I will suggest
gonna like pretend to wrestle some guy.
Quit pulling the curtain back, Drew. This match has happened before. They even had a one-on-one Invisible Man one-on-one with himself, and there, I think it was it Remsburg or one of the AEW referees was refereed the whole thing. Yeah. So if you look up though, just one of the promos leading up to it with Sandman, I think you'll find it very entertaining. And of all people to do a match like this, I think Sandman is like perfect.
Oh my God, I can't believe you told Drew about this.
I'm kind of shocked Drew wasn't in on it, considering he's a big ECW guy.
So Sandman's retirement match is against nobody.
No, it's against the Invisible Man.
I can't.
Drew clearly has not been aware of the Invisible Man as an entity throughout pro wrestling.
No, I mean, I've seen some stupid shit that people have done online.
Oh, man. See, I was going to tell him while we were there in Vegas because I wanted to see his reaction.
You should just go see it, really.
One independent show that I kind of want to see, truthfully, and it's the one I always want to go to every year, is Bloodsport. I think that's going to be dope.
And I heard Nick Khan could be there.
Stu Grayson was the Invisible Man's last opponent. Just to throw that out.
Drew, you got to suspend your disbelief.
Oh, God, this is great. This is great. I'm sorry. I knew he was going to have this reaction. I was going to tell him when we got in Vegas. I was like, hey,
listen, I'll be wrestling the Invisible Man at the Bellagio Fountains on Saturday. You come on through. It's $55 to watch me take on the Invisible Man.
Every time you go on one of these trips, you're fighting the Invisible Man.
That's just listen.
You know, I mean,
it's not WrestleMania. What do you want from them?
Sucker boy every minute. Brody Lee Jr. versus Joey Janela. I'm here for.
Yeah, that actually be cool, but
I mean, you're talking about the Sandman. His entrance is awesome.
Here's my thing, Drew. You're talking about it as if you would be really, really thrilled to see a mid-50s Sandman in an actual match with an actual other human.
I saw Sabu.
Well, that is a good question.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing with Sabu, and he had it with Joey Janela, and it's like
mid-50. Yeah. Jericho's mid-50. What are we doing here?
Sandman is not in the shape of Jericho. It's Hack, for God's sake. He's drinking beer all the time. He's hitting the pen all the time.
All right, so why don't we have Sandman versus RVD? Why couldn't we do that?
Because no one wants to see two old guys wrestle. They'll watch WrestleMania for that.
No one wants to see two old guys wrestle, but they want to see an old. Okay. All right. Okay.
From the Invisible Man.
Absolute cinema over here. Okay.
Yeah. When people are talking about it, you'll see.
Are there any other matches besides that one you're looking forward to that are not WrestleMania? Because I know there's
there's a lot of good shows. I know HOG's running a show. There's some shows already running this afternoon. There's plenty of stuff going on.
Watch some Power Slap.
Those of you in Vegas.
In Vegas?
That shows the intellect we've got here.
Jake
willing to watch Power Slap.
Hold on a second. Whoa. You mean to tell me I'm not watching it on TV live?
I'm gonna watch Power Slap.
No, I didn't say I was watching on TV. Live, I'm gonna go have some cocktails and watch two dudes smack or two chicks smack the shit out of each other. Yeah. Wow. It's better than watching some dude fight himself.
Barbaric activity. Drew, you're gonna be watching WrestleMania. It's the same thing.
Some dude's fighting himself, and you deem that like
it's all a work. It's not real fighting. Therefore, it's the entertainment value.
Clip this. This is so funny.
I wish we had a guy to clip this because I feel like we're the clippers, and I can't clip it right now. We're live.
We're live, pal.
Oh God!
Get Blake on the horn. He could be a clipper.
Shout out to Blake. Too.
He'll clip it, and then he'll clip something that has Drew in it, but he'll mangle the audio to make Drew sound like he's saying something terrible as a rib.
Do the old Chinese dub voiceover.
Indeed.
Hey. I've been doing that. All right. Well, let's talk these Mania predictions because let me pull up the card. Really quickly, I'll ask you guys before we run into predictions. Are there any matches that you guys are just locked in for?
Yeah, Gunther and Rollins, and the ladder match. Like these are not main event matches that I absolutely want to see, and I think could steal the show. Also, Baylor and Mysterio is going to be a good one, I think.
The ladder match is an obvious one. I got to be honest, and maybe it's not just the match, it's just the performance. And I know we've been harping on celebrities and everything. I got to tell you, I am locked in to see what IShowSpeed does at WrestleMania. He, as this like reluctant heel, but like he's really like a nice guy. Like we all know, he of all the people that they've made famous in the YouTube space, he seems like a genuinely nice guy. And him being this like, I really don't want to help the bad guys, but oops. And like, he's kind of buying in now, and he's uber athletic. So like this could go in the realm of a Logan Paul. I don't think he's, I don't think IShowSpeed's going to become a full timer or anything, but I think he's got some tools that we're not going to be privy to. And I'm looking forward to seeing I'll tell you this. It's either going to be incredible or it's going to be like awful, but an incredible spectacle. Nevertheless,
he's in there with a lot of people who can work, so he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he'll be fine.
I'm looking forward to that performance.
Let's do
Obafemi Brock.
Go ahead. Obafemi
Brock. Yeah,
that's a main event though for me, in my opinion. Like that's one of the main event matches. I know it's not.
So then, if I'm gonna go outside of that, then I would say Jacob, Fatu, and Drew.
Okay, I like it. I don't hate that. Let's do WrestleMania Saturday first, shall we? Let's start off with the match you just named. I believe it's going to kick off WrestleMania Saturday on.
So you think that's what's going to be on the first free hour block is an unsanctioned match?
I think it. But yeah, the ESPN 2 first hour is going to have the 6-man tag up first, and then I think it's Fatu and McIntyre after that. So let's talk about the Vision: Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and IShowSpeed taking on the Usos and LA Knight. I think the Usos are going to leave LA Knight high and dry in this match. So I'm going to go with the Vision and IShowSpeed. I don't think I don't know. I'm going to hold off on that one, but I think this celebrity involvement is going to have IShowSpeed victorious, because I do think the Usos will leave LA Knight high and dry. Jordan and then Juice.
If this leads to what you and I have been talking about and slowly predicting, I will agree. Yeah, the Usos, they got the new theme, the better theme. They fixed it. I've got the Uso. There's no reason why I'm not saying they win, but they're going to walk out like looking good in this. So, but IShowSpeed for he somehow, some way is going to be how did I get the win? And I think that'll be a great Mania moment, honestly, especially if it's going to open the show. So I've got IShowSpeed winning via Uso walkout.
I also think the same way with the Vision and Speed getting the win. However, I pose this. I think there is an incredible opportunity, depending on health, where IShowSpeed is doing a great job with the Vision. Drew, do tell me, who was someone that had a problem with IShowSpeed in a previous Royal Rumble match who also is a part of the Vision, who might not be happy that Speed took his place?
Well, that could be.
I would love to see that happen.
I think the story for Breaker is coming back the night after Mania. I don't think he's
sure.
I don't think he's showing up on this show. They're going to need something for the night after WrestleMania. I think you could have Breaker, and I wouldn't be surprised on the SmackDown after Mania if you see Kevin Owens. Or maybe he goes to Raw. I don't know, but I think both of those gentlemen are probably on the.
Kevin Owens should have been on the phone call.
That's
also considering that I'll say just want to throw out here the Jey Uso and Cameron thing. I don't know.
I saw that.
It's a word. But I'll I'll just say that's another reason me leaning towards the Usos doing something kind of nefarious.
Yeah,
I just want to point out that's a great celebrity spot. I love let's have that kind of crossover. Like celebrities coming in is nice. Let's have our WWE stars go over there every so now and then. So
and he didn't smell what the Usos cooking.
That was so corny. I'm sorry. That was so corny.
You keep bringing me these WrestleMania people Saturday. Where the WrestleMania Sunday? And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Now that was a good line. Yeah.
I mean, but it was hey, listen, crossover and work.
I love, when, like I said, I like it when like how you predicted, bring the frog out, that Cody would pull up on Pat. You know what I mean? Like that was.
Come on, that was pretty low hanging.
But anytime
obvious that he would do that.
Or
let's not give Drew so many flowers. We cue the frog every fucking week.
Or how about the phone call that you two received on Sunday?
Juice, how when LA Knight
I
pulled up to Speeds. This has been this match right here with the Usos, LA Knight and whatnot has been a great, this is how you do in celebrity involvement.
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk about Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. I'm going to give this to Jacob Fatu. I think Drew McIntyre at this point he's Teflon. This could really elevate Jacob, beating a former world champion, obviously somebody who was just world champion about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. I think it's something that Jacob can continue. Jacob would now be, I believe, 2-0 at WrestleMania, back-to-back victories in Vegas. I think it's the right call. I'd like to see Jacob ascend to that main event level and get a championship opportunity. So I'm going to go with Fatu over Drew McIntyre.
I am also going to go with Fatu. I also think, 2 years ago, Drew McIntyre tweeted bored at work. Last year, he tweeted a video, still bored at work. So I think we will get a third entry into that series. And I also think that it will be the match that he loses once again at WrestleMania. So
Jordan,
Jacob Fatu, stock going up.
I've got if you're paying attention to the MFTs and things like that, and just the Samoan families and whatnot, they're telling some stories. So I've got Jacob Fatu winning. That I don't know where it leads to, but I got Jacob Fatu winning.
There you go. All right, let's talk about Stephanie Vacour versus Liv Morgan. I thought this past Monday was fantastic with Liv Morgan. She looks deranged. She looks like the crazy ex-girlfriend. Everything you would want in terms of a crazy, driven person to get back her women's world heavyweight championship. And I believe that's where we're headed. Stephanie Vacour could have a good match with a broom or an invisible woman.
See, it's a skill, Drew. Maybe you should respect that.
Right, but we've established that Sandman skills are not what they used to be, I guess. So
his body type, come on, you act like he's shredded out there. It's hack for God's sake.
The best show we've ever done.
I'm going to go with Liv Morgan. I think this is one of many changes that WWE is going to make here at WrestleMania to usher in. I know they've said it, but I think they're really going to change and they're going to go into a different direction. I believe
another new era. The Bedala era has begun.
I think this is one of that you will see. Who went first last time? I don't know. One of you figure it out.
Go ahead, Jordan. Oh, no, I went first last time.
I'm gonna be honest. This Vacuo run hasn't been doing it for me. I don't think it's doing it for her either. I think they just want to change the pace of some things. Maybe it's time for a heel turn or something like that. But the Stephanie Vacuo character feels like she hit her WWE ceiling very fast. Feels like she's, already there, and so I think because of that, giving her that title so quickly, it's made this reign not feel so good. So if I'm a betting man, and this weekend I will be, knocking on wood.
You better not bet at all. You got SummerSlam to go to in a couple of months.
Baccarat is the game I've been looking up, is the easiest one. I've got Liv Morgan though. She did the press thing on ESPN as well. She was on First Take. So just signs are leading towards her winning.
We'll have no Stephanie Vacour slander on this show, by the way.
Oh no, I love the woman, but she's got boo-boo face every time she come out. Like, she don't look too happy to. And I'm no judgment of character.
I'd rather that than be all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And then when they come out one time, you're like,
I feel like with this, they gave her the title so quickly. Like, I want to see some more match. Like
Stephanie Vaquer is best served as the chase, I think.
Like Cody says, right? Like I would like to see some of these matchups that I want to see Stephanie Vaquer go through we don't have an opportunity to get it because she's already champion.
I don't think you can name many true faces that are good as champion.
It's tough.
John Cena, like the elites are up here. John
Hogan, Cena.
Hogan.
Yeah.
Damn, no, that's a good point. That is a very good point.
It's always more exciting to have them chase, and then they get the title, and it's like, well,
it's a paradox. Then it's our one of the first and true only wrestling paradoxes. Like, how good is the good guy when he finally gets everything he wants? You know, so
that's why you got to turn them here.
Speaking of everything they want, AJ Lee and Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, I'm going to go with Becky here. I think Becky walks out of WrestleMania with this because I believe AJ is going to take some time off, maybe until, I don't know, SummerSlam. Maybe she's at Backlash. I would love to see it. I don't know, but I'm going to go with Becky Lynch here. I think Becky Lynch is 0-3 against AJ Lee. So I'm going to give her a win. Who went first? Juice, go ahead.
I'm going to go. First of all, I didn't get to pick the last match. Liv Morgan, I believe, will win. I also believe Becky Lynch will finally get one up on AJ Lee. And Jordan, have you ever seen that SpongeBob episode where Squidward loses his job at the Krusty Krab and he ends up living in a box? Hopefully that's not you by the end of this weekend, losing all your money to gambling. So be careful of what Drew gets you into.
First off, again, Baccarat and small hands, baby, small hands.
She must not know me too well. I don't really gamble that much.
No. I don't. You're acting like I'm talking about strictly gambling. You gallivant all over the country, bringing people into these epic places. Oh, well, I guess you're going to pay the bill.
We're using an SAT word now? Gallivant?
Hey,
all right.
Hey. One of us has a journalism degree on this show.
It's a good word. I use that word daily. I ask my wife all the time, what are you off gallivanting? So
oh my gosh.
Same with my girlfriend. She's gallivanting all the time.
All signs point to AJ part-time Lee taking some part-time away. So I imagine she's gonna take some time off, as she should. She deserves it. She's, once you become, at this point in your career, you can kind of do what you want, because there's no wrong that AJ Lee can do. She's got the crowd in the palm of her hands every time she comes out. That being said, it's going to be a great moment to see her lose. So Becky Lynch will be walking out as champ.
Well, Drew is busy locked in talking to people that aren't on screen. So, Drew, what do you got for the next match?
Marking down these picks because when people, I didn't pick that, I didn't pick this, I didn't pick that, we'll be able to put.
Oh, no, I know who. Yeah. I'm literally, I got my list too.
We stand on what we believe in here on No Dirt, Just Dialogue.
Seth Rollins versus Gunther. A lot of people were like, this match, blah, blah, blah. I thought, again, Monday night, I liked the promo. It's got a very similar build, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go with Gunther. I think you have to. So I'm gonna go with Gunther.
Yeah, I think
go ahead.
Oh, I just think we are on the precipice of losing any momentum that Gunther had after retiring John Cena just 4 months ago. If he loses this match, I don't care what they got next for Seth Rollins. He can't win this match. Like, we're almost to a point now where I'm thinking like they may have just let it slip by Gunther. The momentum, the heat. Now I know that it could have been Rey Mysterio, and we could have had stuff
here, but you could see, I could see a Braun Breaker interference to cost Seth. I'm just gonna say that.
I wouldn't hate it. And then you can also sets up a potential Braun Seth and then Braun Gunther down the line as well. I don't need you to get involved in my match.
Bingo.
I'm gonna be honest with you fellas. I'm 100% checked out of this match. I think it's gonna steal
the show on Saturday.
Now when the bell rings,
no, that's gonna be Pat McAfee's entrance. What, are you kidding me?
When the bell rings, it'll probably be match of the night. It'll probably be the best bell-to-bell match, But as far as like how we got here, why we're here, because you're right, Drew. Gunther really can't afford to lose. And I personally think Seth can't either. Coming off an injury, in this story that now you were so focused in on, now all of a sudden you're with 2 weeks to go to the main show, you're focused on something else now. I don't think any gentleman can afford to lose. So I'll say I'll put out kind of a twofer. I think we're either going to get some sort of like wild no contest, maybe a breaker showing up and just destroying everybody, maybe a wild no contest, or I got Seth winning because I'm sorry, like you can't like Gunther. You can reheat Gunther. You can get him back. You can do this career killer gimmick again. There's plenty of careers that are about to come up. You can do it again, but Seth, you got to keep him. You got to keep him hot.
All right, so here's my finish for this. I was sitting. I wanted to see if maybe one of you guys had a creative bone in your body. We don't have it.
Maybe we kept it quiet, and now you're going to say it and ruin it.
Listen, coming in and causing a no contest.
Here's how I see this playing out. Okay, I think a masked man is going to cost Seth Rollins this match.
Oh my God, yeah. You're right. We don't have a stupid creative bone in our body. You're right.
No, but does it not? Hold on. Does it not?
And then I said, let's bring another masked man to WrestleMania.
But does it not make sense? Seth Rollins will be like, what the hell? And then on Monday Night Raw, we get a reveal. First of all, I got to tell you, they don't book for the marks. They don't book for the IWC.
I know. It's Pat McAfee's telling us every single week. It's not to get the IWC.
But that would make a lot of sense. You're going to return Braun Breaker. You have him as a masked man. Seth Rollins tortured the Vision with these masked men, and now Braun can have payback. Just saying. At least it might not happen. They might just have him cost them the match.
You know what's funny, Jordan, is Drew goes, well, I don't think we're going to see Braun Breaker until Monday night. Actually, you know what? Maybe that's what I'm saying. I know, but what I'm saying is it's very easy to get all of your predictions right and say you had it all along when you predict both sides of every fucking scenario.
Both sides. I just said I think that
he might be there. He might not be.
So let me repeat myself because clearly you didn't hear me. There's going to be a masked man. He's not going to reveal himself until Monday Night Raw. I know you lose a lot of brain cells on the juice box, but I mean, come on, Christ.
Well, that's why you haven't been on there in a while. You don't have any more brain cells to lose.
My brain cells are gone. The irresistible forces because of this damn show. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria versus the Bella Twins. I think the Bella Twins are good to go. I haven't checked.
I hope so, because that's who I think is going to win this match. I think the tag titles are perfect for them.
I think that's what this match was made for. But the fatal four-way match for the women's tag team title is that a lot of people were up in arms about Io Sky and Asuka and some others not being a part of WrestleMania. I think right now, the reason you're not seeing them is because just in case the Bellas can't make their WrestleMania match. That's just me. We'll have to wait and see. If the Bellas are in it, I'm with Juice. I'm going with the Bellas. If they're not, I think they keep the championships on the irresistible forces. I don't know. We'll see. Again, I don't remember who was first. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jordan.
I think that the Bellas have never won the tag titles, right, since their creation.
I don't think so. They weren't around when they were here.
And so therefore I'm just leaning towards, and if you've heard them or seen them on their podcast, this is something they want, something they've wanted. And WWE tends to, when you're good to them, after a while, they'll be good to you. And well, not necessarily after a while, but they will be good to you as well. And I think this is one of those things where WWE is just going to make them whole. Like, hey, appreciate everything you guys have done for us in your career. This is something you guys have never got to accomplish. Here, I want to make you whole.
There's a reason Brie came back. This is it.
Yeah, this is it. So, I'm okay with that because you know what? It's gonna pictures. They can take the belts on their podcast, and stuff like that. So, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
They'll do some action figures with them. Yeah, it's all a part of the plan.
Just shout out Corey. I'm gonna holler at you when we get there.
Corey's. You talk about gallivanting.
Oh no,
Corey's number one.
I've been looking at.
He doesn't stop gallivanting. He's gallivanting up a storm.
Yeah, no, he's gallivanting.
All right, speaking of somebody who will be gallivanting, Cody Rhodes taking on Randy Orton with Pat McAfee for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Jordan?
Really quickly, did you see the report about Randy Orton allegedly?
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say. Let's rephrase that. Do you believe, the report?
Because
I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about it don't feel right. Like, oh, you're hurting. Nothing. There's nothing specific. Like, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't believe the report. And if it is put out there, it's a work. I'll put it to you that
I
way.
think this is the first night of this wave of change and direction for WWE, and I think Randy Orton walks out with the championship. Do we get a Rock appearance? I don't know. I'm not gonna predict yes or no, because realistically, that is the most unpredictable man in this business. I don't know. Could I see Randy, Roman holding up both championships at the end of WrestleMania, going off the air, maybe with some other people as this new corporation or board or whatever is formed? Yes. Randy.
What would you call him, Drew?
Randy is piece one.
The board line?
No. I don't know.
I've been thinking about that. Like, of course they wouldn't say something like that out in the open, but like, do you think they've come up with something if that is the fruition?
I think if you were to do it, honestly, you would just do the corporation again. Just do the corporation.
Just do it again. Well, I'll tell you this: if The Rock's involved, he has the history with that.
That's what I'm saying. You have the history.
He could say like, "This is my corporation."
Exactly. Yeah, it could be the board. It could be the board of directors. It could be
the board is pretty cool. Just the board.
The board is pretty cool. I ain't gonna.
The board is hard.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
Juice, who you got?
Yeah, who do you have?
I think Randy? I wanted it when he won the chamber, and even with all this convoluted stuff going on, and it's not, again, I have no problem with Pat McAfee. I like Pat McAfee. He's from Pittsburgh. He's a great guy, great humanitarian, philanthropist. He gives money to a lot of people. He's a great commentator, fun in the ring. He did not need to be in this story. That's my problem, and I'm sure it wasn't his. To the report saying that he declined it in the beginning, good on Pat again, but he is in here. And I wanted it from the beginning, even before his involvement, to Randy winning the championship, surpassing Triple H, cementing himself truly as that number 3 in the world title picture, with Cena at 17, Flair with 16, Orton with 15. Orton was the youngest world champion for the, is he still the youngest champion? I'm not sure. 2004 is when he won it against some unknown individual, but he clearly has kept up with him being at that level this entire time. And I think him solidifying himself as one of the top guys ever by winning this championship, I think is more than a good enough reason to pull the trigger. And again, I much rather have Cody not as champion. He's more interesting that way. There's always a chance of him turning heel, not a champion.
Again, I think there's something that's going to happen at the end of this match. I can't put my finger on whom, what, or if, but I think they're going to, because Pat has said WrestleMania Sunday, ass, all this other stuff. Like,
yeah, hell of a promotional tactic.
Right, but I mean, I think what they're going to do is they're going to create people who are like, I'm going to watch WrestleMania Saturday, or I'm going to watch WrestleMania Sunday while I'm in Vegas. They're going to be like, holy shit, look at what just happened on Saturday. I have to be at Sunday. Because let's just call a spade a spade. Last year, that triple threat between Roman, Punk, and Seth, the turn was great. A lot of people saw it, but I don't think they did anything that night where people were like, bro, I got to go Sunday. Everybody was already lock, stock, and barrel to going Sunday because John Cena's last WrestleMania match, and it was him and Cody, which a lot of people have wanted to see forever. This WrestleMania, there's a lot of emphasis on Sunday because it's Punk and Roman. There's not so much emphasis on Saturday. So I think if they do something crazy on Saturday, the emphasis will even be furthermore on Sunday. And I think that sells out Allegiant Stadium because they're not there yet. But I think if they do something nuts on Saturday, which I think is going to happen, they'll move a lot of tickets. Sunday morning.
Both these Vegas Manias, Sunday has been sold regardless. Cena, Cody was always going to be a big point of contention. Punk and Roman, I've said, is the biggest WrestleMania main event in 10 plus years. And you had a bonus. Last year, that triple threat was arguably maybe one of 2 of the best matches all weekend. So who knows what you got Saturday, playing more Vegas stuff. You're playing with house money. Both people with Sunday are going to be there anyway.
Both triple threat matches from last year's Mania, I think, were 1 and 2. So
it's fun. Yeah, both were triple threat. You're right.
Yeah, I think this WrestleMania is card-wise is way better than last year, like light years. But again, there's 2 matches on Sunday that people absolutely want to see, like are dying to see. And there's only one on Saturday. So Pat was smart and WWE was smart to kind of get don't go to Sunday because Sunday's really hurt. I mean, truthfully, it's already sold very, very well. Saturday's kind of struggling. And if you do something crazy on Saturday, which I think they will, and let's just say, I'm not saying it's happening, but I'm going to play devil's advocate. Rock shows up on Sunday. I think there's a very good possibility that you see that man again on Sunday, and that will draw people.
You mean Saturday and Sunday? You said Sunday.
Sorry, Saturday and Sunday. That will draw more people into that building on Sunday. So
automatically,
yes.
Right?
Jordan, what do you think?
I think Cody. This is gonna sound crazy. I think Cody's due for some good R&R, some rest and relaxation. I can see this, whatever is going to happen, being way to write him off. So I got Randy winning, but
Jordan loves these write-off angles.
Well, one, I believe I've always said this, and this is for another time, but I believe wrestlers need an off season. You know, you've got to be able to rest your body and your mind. So
wrestlers, yes, but companies, I don't think so. I think wrestling has been predicated on it. It should be all year round. But wrestlers can take time off for sure. Oh, there's the depth. There's so many damn wrestlers these days.
There's so many. So you know, and I personally think Cody's a guy who's been, man. He makes every show. He does every event. He's at WWE World right now. You know, he was doing press the other day for, you know, so.
He was doing Street Fighter stuff last night.
Street Fighter stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that on top of this looming possibility of this something happening, I want to say I saw in the comments that Pat said that Roman and Randy will save the business. You know, so
and last year they were ruining the business with Cody. Isn't that funny? How both years it's like, come on.
So. I think this is kind of telegraphing that something's going to happen, but if you know, I got Randy winning. Cody's going to be a bloody mess. It's going to be great.
I would wager that you're going to see some blood on Saturday.
Yeah. You know, but I've got Randy winning via 4 RKOs.
I want to see a punt is what I want to see.
That will solidify this turn. I'm not going to lie to you. That would be another good, big, shocking moment is if Randy brings the punt back. Doubt he brings the punt kick back, but that would be cool.
His best friend, Pat McAfee, is a punter, so come on.
If Rock doesn't show up during this match, at the end of this match, or I don't know, we'll throw another name out there. I'm just saying, Vince McMahon or something, right? Shane McMahon. Is this match, if Randy just wins and it's just Pat, and then we get Sunday and it's Randy and Roman standing tall in the middle of the ring with Pat, are you guys okay with that?
No, wet fart in church because
what's next? What's going to be next?
Well, that's the whole purpose of this business and weekly episode.
It's going to be Jelly Roll and a tag team match at Backlash.
Can't wait.
I mean, I'll put it to you like this, because just listening to Pat, he's hinting at something bigger. And you're thinking that something big is going to happen. So when you lay crumbs of something that's going to happen and it doesn't, you're setting yourself up for failure. So
Pat did allude that he's not the only one. So
on multiple occasions.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about WrestleMania Sunday, and then we're going to get on down the road as we make our descent to Las Vegas. 2/3 of the crew will be there. Juice will not be making the trip. He was invited. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
Hey, no. I politely declined. There's shows in the distance, and I'm more than willing to be patient. I got a lot of things in the hopper this year, so you know, WrestleMania had to go on the back burner.
You are able to attend those. So.
What?
You are
SummerSlam?
Yeah, God willing and able that you will be able to attend these. You have things in the hopper, right?
Oh well, they may not necessarily be events I'm going to, just events in general.
Oh, I'm going to if you think I'm passing on an invite to the Andrew Baydala house.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Well, I'll tell you this, Jordan. We'll be invited once. Might never be invited again, so let's live it up.
Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, ESPN proper, kicking off the show. It was widely speculated. ESPN executives confirmed it. They wanted this. They're getting it. I had said this. I believe all of us did, truthfully. Like, if you're going to do something, Oba and Brock should be that, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. Sunday on ESPN proper makes a lot of sense, not to mention WrestleMania is WrestleMania Sunday. It always has been for me. The Saturday thing doesn't bother me, but when CM Punk said he main evented WrestleMania, no,
Right.
this year he main events WrestleMania. So Oba and Brock, I go Oba Femi. I go under 6 minutes as well. I think this is the launching pad for Oba. I think Oba is a world champion in WWE by November. All right.
He's gonna get the push that Gunther should have had after retiring John Cena.
He's getting the Brock Lesnar. Like they're
right.
Brock won the championship at SummerSlam, I think it was.
Yeah, SummerSlam 02. I was gonna say, yeah, Nassau. Yeah, you should be familiar with that. Yeah, I think there's no other way. I think Obafemi should win this match. It should be not as shocking as Goldberg Lesnar at Survivor Series 2016, but it should be like Lesnar. We know Lesnar sold the hell out of everything with his face throughout this whole build. But I mean, give me an immediate F5, but Oba like just pops up and just like kind of no sells it. Just give me something that puts him even higher than what a pin will do. And I'll be set. Lesnar doesn't need anything other than to do this job, and he's a legend anyway.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen. I think Brock's going to dominate early and Oba's going to no-sell majority of it in terms of like he's going to get and Brock's going to be like, what the hell? I could also see something where they redo the Goldberg and Oba just goes over the Goldberg match. And I have a funny story about that. I had a lot of people over. One of them used to be a megastar in WWE. And when that finish happened, he said, holy shit, did they really just do that? And I mean, that finish with Brock and Goldberg was a complete shock. And I think you could see something like that at WrestleMania. I say under 6 minutes just to be safe. Jordan.
It will be the contrarian here. Because wrestling
he thought Lesnar was going to win the Rumble. Remember that, Drew?
You got to clip that. You love to just
hold on. Wait. I said a Rumble. Okay, there's still another Rumble coming up. All right.
Brock Lesnar's retiring in August, so you better hurry up.
You're going to be there. What are you doing?
Raw Wrestling Logic says that Brock's going to win this match. Brock hasn't gotten a lot of the upper hand in this build. A lot of it has been Oba. Even in the promos, Oba ran him down, right? Brock has gotten zero upper hand in this. Wrestling Logic just tells me kayfabe, historical kayfabe, there it is. It tells me that this is going to be a good and competitive match that Brock is going to win. I got it at, like, when I say good and competitive, it's going to be
competitive match.
Oh, yeah.
I
say competitive in the sense of you're going to see something where Brock's going to do a big German, then Oba's going to hit a big German. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see feats of strength. You know what I mean?
What is this, Festivus?
It's a Festivus for the rest of us. And that's another Seinfeld reference made here on the show. I don't know how many weeks straight we've done it, but thank you.
You think you're stronger than me? It's go time.
How about you lift the television? That TV?
No, I got Brock though, because again, all Wrestling Logic, like he's got no upper hand at all. So it kind of
he don't need it. Bury his ass.
Because then you do.
Come on, you don't believe Obafemi's going to be launched into the stratosphere as the next big thing for real and put Brock Lesnar's ass in the mat? Come on, Jordan.
I do 100% think he's going to. Like, I think he will be, if not in the WWE Championship match, he'll have some sort of singles belt by the end of the year. But again,
Intercontinental.
Just by going by that'd be good though, that he'd be on TV every week. Shout out to Penta. It would Wrestling Logic just tells me that Oba's gonna lose. Like, he's gotten all the offense. He's gotten all of the.
I don't know what is this. Did you get that logic, that Wrestling Logic, from the same book that you claimed had Cope and Christian as more athletic than Steiner Brothers?
I mean, they are. I'm just saying. Just because you did a 450, one time, and
you mean? I'm sorry. Innovated the 450, and I'm sorry. What Division One wrestling did they do?
Those gentlemen in a couple of days, I'm gonna.
I hope you do. I hope you do. I hope you do run into him. It's gonna prove to be disastrous for you at Sacrifice when Scott Steiner comes in.
It proves to be disastrous for me at Sacrifice. Yes. No,
right.
I'm just saying.
I feel like I'm in the back. I feel like I'm in the front seat of my car yelling at my three of my kids.
Yeah. Hey, wait till SummerSlam, Drew.
Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley singles match for the WWE Women's Championship.
Ooh, this is actually a tough call, to be honest.
This is a coin flip.
I think they're going to keep the championship on Jade. I think Rhea gets louder ovations week after week. She gets bigger pops than some of the male superstars. I'd say actually 90% of the male superstars.
Yes.
So it would make a lot of sense for them to put the championship back on Rhea. And a SmackDown would be a place that she would like to probably call home for a couple months, year, whatever. But I'm going to keep it on Jade here. I think you're going to see a lot of change in terms of titles, switching and swapping. But this one, I'm going to say Jade retains.
I agree. I think the Storm is here to stay. I think it's going to be a prove it match for her because Rhea Ripley is going to be the most high profile match Jade's had, arguably, in her career at a huge stage like WrestleMania. And I think this is a proving ground match for Jade. And I think she walks in and walks out as champion. So, and look, you brought it up. Rhea doesn't need a title. She's one of the biggest stars in the company, if not the biggest star in the company outside of, Roman and Punk and some of those guys. So she don't need a title. She'll be fine.
I know Triple H loves Rhea. Okay. There's a lot of things that aren't going his way. Triple H more recently. I mean, this is not, I guess this might be breaking news. I want to say somebody touched on this already, but Triple H wanted Cody Rhodes in the main event on Sunday, and the board TKO is like, no, it's Roman and.
So let's run with the board, Drew. I'm telling you, after Sunday night, if The Rock's there and they call it the board,
and I know that Triple H would have liked to have more than likely see CM Punk and Cody Rhodes probably retain their championships at WrestleMania, but I do think they're going to try this and see if the ratings and the live attendance and the ticket sales and everything else and the vibes and the impressions go up with these two men as champion. This is one that I think Triple H is going to say, let's keep the championship on Jade. Let's see what she could do because Triple H is very high on Jade. So I want to throw that out there. So
this is a toss-up, honestly. Keeping the belt on Jade is great, awesome. But if Jade loses, she lost to Rhea Ripley, which is still a good loss to have.
Right.
And then for Rhea, if you losing to Jade at this point in your career, not that she's getting old, it's nice to kind of, give back. And, she's Rhea Ripley. She'll be back in the title scene. So there's pros and cons to really both of these ladies winning. I think it will be a very good, I think it'll be a good match. I think for all the talk about Jade's in-ring prowess, she's gotten, you're starting to see some improvement. Let's just call it for what it is. People are not giving that woman her flowers. It's getting, sometimes people take a little bit longer to figure out this, figure out that. I think she's in a groove like no other right now. She's hit a kind of flow state with her character. And so it's a toss up. But gun to my head, I'm going to go Jade. You don't give somebody a faction and then have them lose. So I would say Jade.
All right. I'll make another prediction because I think there was a report, rumor, whatever you want to call it, going out that the Goodyear blimp is going to be again at WrestleMania. Danhausen's face is going to be on it. Okay?
I missed the what was it? Like the inflatable Stridex blimp that they'd have.
Oh yeah, inside the building.
Yeah, inside the venue. That's what I want to see.
Hey,
maybe Danhausen does that. Maybe Danhausen.
How do you like his finishing move? Very nice, very Neville.
Well, hey, Jordan, I hope you're happy. You got to see his big 5-star match.
No. Are you happy? Are you happy?
Well, look, I said he didn't need one, and I still believe he never needed one. But how the match went with the little pyro thing, like that's great. I enjoed it. It was very entertaining.
He'll be on the card. He'll be on
one guy with a journalism degree.
Here we
sat
go.
on here and calls everybody else out for different things. But the two guys who don't have a journalism degree did not decide to take a shot at you because you moronically said that Danhausen wasn't going to wrestle. Now, does he need to? No. Is he going to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and I agreed that he probably will, but I don't care if he's a wrestler or not. That's so ridiculous. We're not going to go back on this whole thing. And again, I agreed with you, Drew, that he probably would end up. I think your point is apt, where he might end up like lucking into a tag title thing. 100%. I fully could see that. I just say that he never needed to wrestle for him to be effective, and up until that match, he didn't need one.
I will tell you, there's few people that I will sit back and tell you, because I think everybody uses the word and it's very much like a buzzword and people love to get it out there, is fumbled. Okay. I think AEW, when they had Danhausen, fumbled him.
100%. 100%.
He just didn't know how to capitalize on it in the way that WWE does.
Because Dave Meltzer didn't find him to be a great wrestler.
Because akin to what you're saying to your prediction, I don't think AEW had the facilities to do what they need to do. Like, they can't put his face on a blimp, because I think that's a genius prediction.
All they can do is have him wrestle, and that's not his strong suit. WWE, welcome home.
Right. But no, I think that's, it's funny you threw that in there. I was going to ask you guys towards the end, do you guys think Danhausen, makes his way onto the card?
Man, him and John Cena, that interaction is going to be crazy, and I can't wait for it.
I think that'll happen. I also think he might try. He'll make an appearance on Saturday, maybe in the unsanctioned match. He'll just be sitting in the backstage. But I think he'll try and get into that ladder match, and I think his face will be on either the Goodyear blimp, or he'll be riding the little Danhausen blimp around the arena.
Yeah.
Same.
I do want to bring this up, though, just as an aside. There's all these celebrities at WrestleMania. What do you guys think in terms of just like legends returning outside of like The Rock or whatever? Like, are we going to get an Austin ATV into the barricade appearance again? Yeah, what are we going to get in terms of that, you think?
I think Austin will be there. I think he'll do something in terms of maybe it's an Austin Danhausen segment backstage.
Holy shit.
I think Austin.
There you go.
That type of stuff.
I think Austin gives John Cena his flowers.
Like, I thought you were going to say gives him a stunner, and I'm like, wow.
No, like
Saudi Arabia, here we come.
Like, where he's going to say, hey, you're on the other side of something like that, something akin to, welcome to
retired life. Yeah.
Maybe an interaction with CM Punk backstage. I don't know.
Drew says that with conviction, like he knows something. I hate when he does that. I would
put it to you like this: a interaction with Cena in a suit, Cena in a suit, and Punk.
Oh, John's going to be in a suit.
That's what
David Allen, baby, Pittsburgh zone.
And the title over his shoulders, and it's going to kind of have this tension, and then they can kind of break the tension with a hug or a handshake. That'll be great. All
right, I've been told we have 5 minutes. Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. This is another championship change for me. Trick Williams is on an upward trajectory. I don't like the inclusion of Little Yachty. Not because I don't like Yachty. I think Yachty makes a lot of sense. I think it's a good crossover. But less is more with Yachty. Just keep him out there and like make him do facial expressions when he gets on the mic.
Having him sell that kick was terrible.
Yeah, and all that other stuff. I'm going with Trick Willie. I think the Lemon Pepper Steppers get the United States Championship, and maybe we get a custom U.S. title.
That man was just on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark. Told a great story about how he became a wrestler. I think you guys should watch that clip. Therefore, again, doing outside media, they trust you, they want you. Walking out new champ, Trick Williams.
Yeah, I disagree with the Lil Yachty point. I think of all the celebrities, I think he's actually given a lot to this story, especially just him being the vocal kind of vocal manager or whatever, just a guy that kind of dig a little deeper onto the guy that Trick is facing. And I hate this notion of people saying like, they're going to do a double turn at Mania. Man, Trick is already popular than hell. He is the babyface going in. He's going to be the champion walking out. Trick Willie, new champ. Let's go. Demon
Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I think it would have been really cool if we didn't announce that Finn was going to be the Demon. They did. It is what it is. But the entrance is going to be spectacular. This match is going to be very good. Last year, the ovation that Dom got, I was sitting on the stage when he won the Intercontinental Championship, was one of the loudest pops I could remember. That and Steve Austin's glass shattering, and I would say when
Fiend.
they played This Fire Still Burns for CM Punk during that promo, the entire arena was singing it. You're going to get a CM Punk special entrance. I teased this months ago. So anyways, AFI. I'm going to go with Finn. I want to say like JD and Finn get back together and maybe they do a tag team thing, but I don't know. Something's going to happen here. I'll have to wait and see what it is, but I like Finn.
I'd like to see the Demon get the win. And I don't know if that's just a complete separation from Judgment Day and he does his own thing. And because I mean, Finn's just been a part of this group for a while and he hasn't really been on his own. And this is a bizarre little turn now to where he is the Demon and he's going to have this one-off. But will it be more than a one-off? I don't know. Like I could see him challenging for some more stuff down the line if it's a win and he's successful. But, so I see him winning. But the fans, as much as they love the Demon, I think they're still going to, like you said, Drew, I think they're still going to be in love with Dom from last year. So
Dom's, I know it's going to sound crazy, but Dom's got this like Stone Cold Steve Austin rock type of vibe where they don't boo him. They don't. You want to, because he's a heel.
It's Eddie. He's getting Eddie 0405. He's a heel, but he's not.
Well, I think a lot of people see themselves in Dominic, like rather young. He's hip with the crowd. He knows the terminology that people use. He's acting a little, not super active on, so he's very relatable, as in just like a guy that just wanted to be a wrestler. He didn't have no big, he's got a big wrestling family, but you know what I mean? He's not some NCAA athlete like Trick Williams, But to this match,
the Steiners are NCAA athletes too, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what that B sample looks like.
I'm just saying. I've honestly got Dom winning because he's Teflon, man. Like they don't call him Finn Balor for a reason, for no reason. So
he's not wrestling as Finn Balor. He's wrestling as the Demon. Demon always goes over.
True.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's the only thing. Like when you saw Sting last night, you really think Darby was losing?
Oh. You imagine?
Okay, yeah, you're right. There are certain
Darby.
You're right. There are certain omens that you listen to in life, and if Finn's putting that body paint on, he probably winning. So I think Dom can suffer from he's okay with the loss, but I just okay. Finn wins, like you said. Then what?
That's for them to come up with.
Listen, I think Finn could potentially be a challenger for a championship, whether it's Intercontinental or World. I mean, we got a lot of months until SummerSlam. If Roman's your champion, he's probably not going to work all these pay-per-views up to SummerSlam. So if they want to put which we're going to talk about here coming up next, it's a good segue, the Intercontinental Championship on a Finn Balor in 2 months from now or something like that, because I believe we have the six-pack ladder challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. That is Penta, Javon Evans, Rusev, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, and Rey Mysterio. I don't know if Rey's going to actually make this match. That's why I said something about Danhausen or maybe somebody else. And they like to do that at WrestleMania. Like we had Joe Hendry, because Joe Hendry was filling in for an injured Kevin Owens, but like a kind of a surprise pop return. So somebody might be in this. Maybe it's not Rey. I wish Rey is in it because he's a fantastic competitor. But if not, I'll list off a couple that I could see filling in. Danhausen's one, but that's just for the pop and the haha. I could see RVD because it's Vegas, and I could also see Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth because it's Vegas. So with that being said, neither of those gentlemen will win. I'm going with Javon Evans. I think they crown Javon Evans here in Vegas, and I think Javon Evans has a 2 to 3 month reign as Intercontinental Champion.
I think Javon Evans will now take over as the new Kofi spot. I think he's going, new Kofi spot or the new Shelton Benjamin spot. Like he's going to do something clippable, replayable.
The spot. He's the spot guy.
Yeah, he's going to be the spot guy. And so it's hard not to crown him for that. But I also see a world where Penta retain, can retain, because look at the presentation they've been giving him as of late. So
yeah, I'd like to see.
I think Penta's made already.
Right. I think I'd like to see Penta retain, or that's what I think is going to happen, because either way, whether he wins or loses, I think Javon Evans is going to steal this show.
Yeah,
steal the match.
Javon Evans.
There's a reason he's in there, and a lot of people are like, "Well, why the hell is Rusev in there?" That's the idea. He's the guy that can hold ladders. He's the strongest guy in the match. He's going to be able to facilitate some things that we're not thinking of because he's a stronger guy. And if Javon Evans can utilize that to his advantage to make a crazy spot out of it, be my guest.
All right, be his guest. I'm going to go with Javon Evans. I could see Penta retaining. They love Penta in WWE, but
yeah,
perfect time to crown a new champion. But you want to know what? These secondary championships, some of them might, and I say that with all due respect, some of them might stay on the current champions, because I believe we're crowning 2 new world champions both Saturday and Sunday, and that is our main event for Sunday, the actual real main event of WrestleMania, when you main event WrestleMania Sunday, in my opinion, not Saturday. I know it's technically a main event, but this is
okay. Well, he's over that, and he's main eventing it Sunday, so there's no need to go, well, he shouldn't have said he main evented it last year. That was for last year, and this is this year.
This is for everyone.
I know, but yeah, but there's only one guy that's really brought it up and that had a problem with it when he called it a 2-night extravaganza.
I mean, Jey Uso said he main evented a WrestleMania. I mean, I didn't like it.
He's main event Jey Uso, though. That's his gimmick.
He's not wrong, but it was Saturday. Anyways, CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I am going with Roman Reigns. I've said this for over a month. The corporate picks or the board picks, TKO's picks to lead this new change, this new wave, is Roman and Randy, and I believe we see that on Sunday. How we get here, I don't know. I think this is going to be an absolute bloodbath between these two. I truthfully believe that. I don't think you'll see blood on any part of this show unless it's the hard way, which means done without gimmicks or done without. It's really hard to. It happens naturally in that ladder match. It's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't understand what the hard way means, but it happens by accident in the ladder match. This match, I think, is going to absolutely have everybody on pins and needles, and I do believe that Roman Reigns ends up winning the World Heavyweight Championship. How? Are the Usos involved? Maybe. Is The Rock involved? Maybe. I don't know. We'll wait and see. At the end of the day, I think Roman Reigns and Randy Orton stand tall to close out WrestleMania Vegas back-to-back.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Since I will be there, and this is the match that I'm looking forward to. It's very simple. Roman is walking out, holding the ones up. The tribal chief is claiming back his throne. It's just as simple as that. Like, there's all signs are pointing towards Roman winning. I don't want to say dominating this match. I don't think it'll be a very competitive match. Again, Punk may bleed. I would love to see Roman bleed. Honestly, I would like to see him kind of struggle a bit. But no, I've got Roman coming out winning, and he is the new champion and maybe the new face of this board of directors or new corporation, so to speak.
I mean, logic tells me that you're onto something, Drew's onto something. But for me, this is just a little hang up I have. I have a very tough time seeing Roman Reigns holding this particular world title. It's not the WWE world title, undisputed title. It's a different design. And I know that might be small potatoes to 99% of you out there, but it's just bizarre to me. And until it happens, I can't buy into it. And that being said, I think the build to this, I think they did a lot in the beginning of this that was so good that it was tough to get out of, like to top every single week. And I know each put each other through the announce tables in subsequent weeks, and they've said this and that about whoever. And I know, and here's the other thing, Drew brought up, he says that he called it, but all he did was mention all 3 of CM Punk's theme songs. He didn't say they're going to do one or the other, or a medley of all three, which I actually think is more likely, is a medley of all three.
You saw AFI last year. They're not going to do that. Or excuse me, you saw This Fire Still Burns last year.
It's just This Fire Burns. You messed up.
Whatever it is.
It could be
AFI is going to be it.
Yeah, it could be a medley though. But what I'm saying is you put out all three songs, so I'm not going to give you the credit for predicting it because you said all of them.
I'm not looking for your credit.
Thank you. Well, you know who is looking for my credit? The person who I think is going to walk out and still your world heavyweight champion, CM Punk. I think this is an opportunity to, you got the Orton thing and you can cash in on that and you can do a lot with that. I don't think you have to take the title away from Punk to still cash in on a potential board corporation thing. You know, if that something like that happens, or if it happens after the match and Punk's like, what the hell is this? You know, I can see a lot of different avenues for that, but I'm taking CM Punk to retain this title and prove a lot of people wrong. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a fun turn. I don't think anybody buys that he's going to win. And up until recently, I didn't think so either. But the more I've been watching, the more how things have turned, I think CM Punk could do it. And I'm picking him to do it.
All right. Well, I guess
That's
we will
an
wait and see.
interesting
CM Punk winning would definitely be a shock for, I think, some people. I like it. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Hope you all will enjoy WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. I will be in Vegas, so will Jordan. Boots to ground will give you a bird's eye view of the things that are going on. Make sure you guys stay locked, not only to Final Bell Media, but to the Wrestle Collective, as Jordan will have some content for you guys and girls over there as well. Juice, I'm sure you're doing predictions with your smartest wrestling fans and cohorts. Who would might that be this weekend?
As a matter of fact, I will be, and I believe it is just me this weekend. So the smartest of all cohorts. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
The smartest guy in the room, Juice Springsteen.
Some say yes. We'll be doing those predictions. They'll be coming out tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I got a lot of FOMO, but as a guy from Pittsburgh, on Saturday we got Paul Skeens on the mound. We got Penn's Flyers at 8:00. And then we got WrestleMania at 6:00. So, and I normally do not curse on this program, but it's Penn's Flyers. Fuck Philadelphia, Pens in 7.
Hey, how do you feel about having the second best City Connect jerseys? Because I'm sorry, Texas, we killing it this year.
Ours are better. Ours are better than our previous ones. But yeah, sure, you can have it.
All right.
I really like y'all City Connects jersey this year. I like it. You know,
rather play better than I care less what the uniform look like.
Same.
All right. Well, for Andrew Baydala, Jordan Carter, and Juice Springsteen, Jordan, I will see you very shortly. The Collective is live today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow. We will be on tomorrow with a special guest. This gentleman here, as you heard, me and Drew will be.
What time is that airing? What time is that airing?
That'll be a normal time, 6 Eastern. But for those in Vegas, we'll be going live 3. So 3:30ish, 6:30.
I'll tune in. I'll make sure to be locked into that one.
Oh yeah, Drew in the same build. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a really good time.
I'll be poolside, so just get ready. Yeah. That's where I'm shooting that from, the pool.
Yes.
A lot of shine that you're gonna have to protect with that bald head.
But yes, you can follow me at slick_flair91. You can find the Wrestle Collective weekly right here on YouTube, the Wrestle Collective YouTube channel.
All right, guys and girls, it's WrestleMania weekend. Make sure you enjoy yourselves. Make sure you have fun. No opinion is a bad opinion. Have fun. Make predictions. Enjoy it. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling for those who are down in Vegas or headed to Vegas right now, or tomorrow, or whenever. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Get yourselves home in one piece. Catch you guys and girls tomorrow.